Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Murrumbidgee Council's October 2025 meeting. We pay respect to the traditional custodians of the lands and waters of the Murrumbidgee local government area and to all Aboriginal elders, past, present, and emerging. We are committed to honouring the continuing connection that First Australians hold to Murrumbidgee's lands, waters, and community as one of the oldest living cultures in human history. In the spirit of open, accessible and transparent government, and to ensure this meeting is open to the public, this council meeting is being recorded, with the recording placed on council's website following the meeting. Murrumbidgee Council accepts no liability for any defamatory, discriminatory or offensive remarks or gestures that are made during the course of the council meeting. Opinions expressed or statements made by individuals are the opinions or statements of those individuals and do not imply any form of endorsement by Murrumbidgee Council. Confidential meetings of council will not be recorded. Recordings are protected by copyright and owned by Murrumbidgee Council. No part may be copied, recorded, reproduced or transmitted without the prior written consent of the General Manager. Any recording will not and shall not be taken to be an official record of Murrumbidgee Council meetings or discussion depicted therein. Only the official minutes may be relied upon as an official record of the meeting. We will move to the Mayor's report. Don't we do the Mayor's report first? It's not on here because it's late. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Somebody like to move that the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 23rd of September 2025 be moved as a true and accurate record. Move Councillor Saxby, seconded Councillor Major. I'll put that. Those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. I'll remind all councillors of their pecuniary interest declarations. Are there any to be put forward before we start the meeting? Judy, would you like to ask John?
About the mural? Do I have to leave the room? In your report?
No.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will move to the mayoral report. I hope everybody has had a copy of this and has been able to read it. The weather has been testing us lately. We were hoping for rains that would help us finish off our crops and have maximum production, but lots of us have missed out on that opportunity. Further focus on water buybacks coupled with unrealistic and impossible to navigate bureaucracy, leading to the creation of updated floodplain management plans, has many within the Murrumbidgee LGO scratching their heads. Having attended the annual Murray-Darling Association National Conference in Griffith recently, I came away quite disillusioned that in the 2 days of the conference, scant regard was afforded to the human communities or the highly valuable agricultural production and associated industries. The first day was consumed by science that drives the Murray-Darling Basin Plan and its delivery, its innovative projects, its efficiency initiatives, its research focus. It's very overt thinking around further water reclamation, the rivers declining, water quality, etc., etc. After more than a decade of imposed water oversight, we are repeatedly told things are getting worse. It beggars belief that government-initiated irrigated communities developed by visionaries that sought to develop and diversify our inland agricultural areas are now being regarded as environmental bandits with little to no value being placed on agricultural production to feed and clothe our nation and contribute to the world circular economy. The positive to come out of the conference was that both Helen Dalton, MP member for Murray, and Steph Cook, MP member for Cootamundra, were in attendance, as was the South Australian Water Minister and the Inspector General of Water Compliance, Troy Grant. It is unfortunate that during October we have seen the withdrawal of the Bendigo Bank agencies, both from Jerilderie and Darlington Point. Council has made many inquiries to many other financial institutions in an attempt to attract alternative service for our communities, but to date with no success. The Jewellery Gold Cup was held in great weather and conditions, and enjoyable days racing and fun social activities took place. The school holiday programs facilitated by Council and the CYC in all three communities were a resounding success, with great attendances in all towns. A successful jewellery flower show was conducted on Friday the 24th of October. A well done to all of those who made this show happen. Our swimming pools are on track to open on the 1st of November. As we travel our local roads, a timely reminder that there is significant growth on the road verges. Please be mindful of kangaroos, emus, foxes, snakes, etc., all of which are plentiful and very mobile. Recent dry weather has dried up the plentiful grasses, so the fire risk is very real. Congratulations to both the Jewellery and Colleen cricket clubs for the energy being invested in both clubs. The reinstating of the club in Jewellery and the impressive works that are being undertaken at number 3 Oval in Colleen. And I'd just like to add that the St Joseph's PP5 relay team, team from Jewellery, actually won in Sydney last week, which is no mean feat to perform on that stage. So congratulations to them also. And below are a list of meetings I have attended in the last month. Are there any questions? If not, somebody would like to move the Mayor's report be loaded. Moved Councillor Heath, seconded Councillor Bryce. Those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against? Aye. Thank you. We'll move on to item 1, please.
Thank you, Councillor McRae. Just a quick update. Managed to get a few things done in my holiday time in October, but probably the first and foremost is the asbestos in the Jewellery office and the actions that Council has taken to move all staff until we remediate that area. On the books has always been a bit of a freshen up in the Jewellery chambers, so we're going to take the advantage of that with everything being removed, all the carpet and all of the ceiling tiles as part of the remediation to get rid of all the friable asbestos that is contained in that building. We won't go straight back in. We'll jump in and do that work and then move back in to a completed building so that we don't have to stop and start again. The quote that we got to remediate, and since this report was done, that work will commence on the 5th of November to abate the asbestos out of there. The cost that I've got there is 140,250 is for the actual company that's coming to remove the asbestos. We still have other costs associated with that for the occupational hygienists and a few other little things that we have to tick off through WorkSafe and whatever. So there will be, it's not a total cost, but that's just the biggest one that was there. So I'm just looking, the recommendations there is hopefully that you will ratify that work. Otherwise, we'll call him off and he won't come here on the 5th of November and we'll hit the office shut. Housing replacement. We had 20 tenders for the housing replacement program. We've advised all of the tenderers that because we've had 20, we need a little bit more time to review so that we get a proper report to council for consideration in accepting those and moving forward to them being built. Collie Emberley and one of us and the Jewellery subdivisions, Councillor McRae and I have a meeting on the 24th of November with Minister Sharp's office to help us out. We wrote a letter to the federal and state ministers for climate change or energy, as well as the ministers of housing in both the feds and the state, and Penny Sharp, the Minister for the Environment, Heritage and Minister for Climate Change. State Minister has set up a meeting for Councillor McRae and myself. It'll take place at 9 a.m. on the 24th. We've identified a room offsite from the conference, a video link, and Gary and probably Stephen will link in, as well as how many people from that department will also link in, as well as the ones that will be in the room to talk about that. I've already had one meeting with the a section in relation to the biodiversity. Stephen Parasotto joined me with that to talk about what we can do about the virtually the $15,000 per lot, between $15,000 and $20,000 per lot cost to be paid in relation to biodiversity offsets. They spoke about there are other mechanisms. They were going to look to see what ours were, which is virtually only 56 is what's going to cost the $800,000. Nothing else in that area of any significant value or anything. So it's just those cypress trees have got that value. So one of the mechanisms that they were doing is that they've just had recent auctions for biodiversity. So they were going to see if the market is actually saying it's not $2,100 a unit, it's $5 a unit, and then apply that $5 against the 400, whatever the hell it is the units for those 56 trees to do that. I hope they don't come back with, I think the current unit rate was $2,100. I hope they don't come back with 5,000 or 6,000, because that will double that, probably pushing the price of what it is at this point in time. So, and we've also used PHL surveyors to do the Colliamely subdivision, and we're in the process of engaging them for the Wunnamarra Stage 3 subdivision, so we get a bit of an idea. So when I do have conversations with Wunnamarra Stage 2 residents, I know what we're talking about, what those things are going. Qualification-based selection is currently out to the markets. It will close in the next early November, and we'll have a report to council on the 18th of November. Christmas party, the most suitable date for the Christmas party is the 5th of December, given the RDOs, and the next other date for that was a bit close to Christmas Day itself. River Income Estate, as I say, this will be the final time that this will come up. It's being marketed. We've sold some blocks. We've got the titles. Everything is moving along. So also we've put the media and social events policy and the events policy to public exhibition. We've received no comment, though the recommendation is to adopt those. The use of summer pool funding in the future. We're proposing that in the future will be formed part of the budgeting process. But for this year, we were relying upon a grant which was made to rural councils, but now that same grant with less money is being made available to all 128 councils in New South Wales. Eden has tried unsuccessfully once in an application, so we don't know. We'll try, but we don't know what it'll be. We'll have these events during council time, so the $5,000 is just a nominal cost for staffing and things like that, which we'll be able to reflect in a budget review just by moving the staff's money from what they normally charge to this allocation against there. So we'll just be reducing one, increasing the other. Darlington Point War Memorial Swimming Pool. Yes. The installation of the mural facade, which everybody's seen the picture of. We're just looking at the council endorse that as we for that work to commence with the full site. Just giving you the run up to our strategic planning workshop in Albury on the 30th of January and all the other events that I'll be attending between now and then. and looking forward to January, because as you can see, except for the 30th of January, there's absolutely nowhere I'm going except for a jewellery done to my colleague Emily during that month.
Okay, somebody like to move councillor report, please. Move councillor Black, seconded councillor Stacey. Are there any questions? Councillor Black, would you like to speak to that?
Thank you very much. I'm very thrilled about the Darlington Point War Memorial Swimming Pool being beautified, and I think it's great that we also are having swimming pools funded during the school holidays.
Any further questions? Councillor Major.
Yeah, right. So you said the funding for the update to the Darlington Point Memorial Pool, but how's that been funded?
The public artwork,
Lauren?
Yeah,
that's a donated public
so I
artwork.
didn't think it was a trick question.
No,
It's really, really good.
yeah,
I think
it
that's it.
remains confidential.
Yeah.
It's not given, they've just given it to us.
And council will be responsible for the erection of the new freestanding signage and things like that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I think it's great that someone from the public is going to
Absolutely.
contribute to the local community like that. My second question wasn't in your report, John. Can you just give council and ratepayers an update on the Darlington Point sewage issues?
The Darlington Point sewage issue for certain. There was a press release that's been sent out today that was authorised to give us a bit of a background in relation to it. What the events that occurred was that back in July, one of the paddles, there's two paddles in the ponds, one of the paddles ceased working. Everything else, like whatever you like for that. So we sought the company out that could make the paddles, make the shaft and all of those sort of things. At that time, as an interim, we had pumps running through, aerating it, and we still had one paddle working. The unfortunate thing always happens, the second paddle broke down in October before we had the first paddle commissioned. So that left us with a short period of time between when that paddle broke down and the new paddles being fixed, which the first paddle is up and operating now. And so I do believe we've still got pumps going around aerating the water a little bit whilst the second paddle gets fit. I've been reliably informed that that was all sent away. The second paddle was sent away last week, and we're hoping to have it back next week so that we can install it and get that one fully operational again. The boys on the ground today went down there. The odour issue has subsided significantly from having the paddle installed and the work that they've been doing to get that done. So it's one of those things. What I'd like to see, the other issue is that as we grow, there would be a need for another settling pond to be placed there. Before I'd strongly recommend to council, before we ever considered that we'd look at a mechanical treatment plant first for there to remove the settling ponds completely and have it all fully done that way. And with those, there's less odour from there. They're compacted. They're completely together, and it gives the opportunity to grow without having to build another pond and create more odour issues across the town. So that's where I'm hoping that we will do some work in relation to that, bring back some options to council.
Thank you.
Ron, I was just had a question around, can you tell us what the movement is, or is there any movement on the sale of lots in the River Red Gum estate?
I had not had an update from the real estate agent whilst I was away, and so I haven't touched base with him as yet, so I can't give you.
Right. Can you bring that to the next meeting, please?
Certainly can.
Because if they're not moving, then we, again, like other topics we've discussed, we need to up our marketing campaign to make sure that they do move. Councillor Churwin. Nothing? No? Councillor Kirky.
On that point with the Red Gum Estate, I would like to suggest that we use the Country Change video, which has just been released, which I think is a credit to our town and such a great effort being put together. If that could be sent to the real estate and they can incorporate that some way or shape into their advertising campaign, I think it will be a big step forward. The current campaign is a little bit dry and it could have a bit more substance around it to give better impact.
Sure, John will pass on that that commentary to our agents in that space. Okay, are there any further questions? If not, it was moved, Councillor Black, seconded Councillor Stapsic, was it? That the recommendation will read that the information contained in the General Manager's monthly report be noted, and Council will, 1, ratify the actions of the General Manager in authorising the expenditure of $140,250 to remediate the asbestos from the Giraldy office. 2, adopt a revised policy as listed below. A, media and social media policy, revision 3, and B, events policy, revision 2. 3, allocate a budget provision of $5,000 to support the delivery of the annual summer pool parties in the event that external funding under the summer break holiday program is unsuccessful. And 4, endorse the installation of a mural on the front facade of the Darlington Point War Memorial Swimming Pool and the erection of strategically placed pool signage. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Item 2, please.
Item 2, disclosure of returns by councillors, audit risk and improvement committee members and designated persons. You've got all the information in front of you. It's a standard report that we do, having to put all of our all these things as part of our governance. So we're just looking for the council to the recommendation that the information contained being done with as it says.
Okay, somebody like to move, please. Move Councillor Churwin, second Councillor Bryce. Any further questions? No? If not, the recommendation will read that the information contained within the disclosure of returns by councillors, committee and members and designated persons report be noted and disclosures be made publicly available in accordance with the legislative requirements. Put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 3, please.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Mayor, item 3 relates to the proposed Murrumbidgee Council Development Road upgrades and maintenance policy. And this report sets the adoption of this policy. Council will recall the draft policy was presented at the council meeting on 26th of August this year for initial consideration, and as such, based on public exhibition, 28 days. During this period, or the completion of this period, no submissions were received. Just to remind council, as we're aware, we are about to receive a number of fairly large developments in the Murrumbidgee Council area, which will significantly increase traffic volumes and traffic types over a number of our rural roads which have been built over time to service daily traffic movements for the local community. These developments will exponentially increase the amount of traffic, and the purpose of the policy is to require those developers wishing to use those roads where the roads have significant increase in traffic movements in accordance with Austroad standards to be responsible for the construction of those roads to a level suitable to daily traffic movements, as well as contracting to council the general maintenance of them.
Thank you. Councillor Black.
The question here is, I'm looking at the year 2 and year 3s, is when you're looking at these non-typical heavy vehicles on these roads and those on that, a form payment will wear very quickly if you've got 10 of those per day out of the 100. up to 100. So I'm surprised you haven't classed a larger non-typical vehicle of greater than 5 vehicles a day of those would have been, or 1 an hour. So
Through you, Madam Mayor, we've basically used the Off-Road standard as the verbatim. So if there are maintenance issues through oversized overmass vehicles, council will be undertaking the maintenance of the cost of those developers driving those oversized overmass vehicles.
that's what the development's all about, having those larger vehicles on it.
So the class U1 is pretty much the highest.
Exactly. I've got a problem with those. It's U2 and U3s.
Three, again, Madam Mayor, we'd be looking at probably as a minimum U2, but probably certainly could be increased to U1.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you moved, councillor Black?
I'll move it,
Yes.
yes.
Somebody second that, please. Councillor Major, any further questions? If not, I'll put the recommendation, and the recommendation will read that the draft Murrumbidgee Council Development Road Upgrades and Maintenance Policy be adopted. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Thank you. Item 4, please.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Mayor, item 4 relates to the closure of 2 council roads located within the Murrumbidgee National Park. We've been contacted by the New South Wales National Parks and Wildlife Service, who have requested the council relinquish and hand over 2 roads within the Murrumbidgee National Park, the East West Trail and the Eastern Boundary Trail, are located in the Murrumbidgee National Park. These roads are not listed in council's road asset list, nor do we currently maintain them. So the recommendation is that council resolve that they transfer these 2 roads to the National Parks and Wildlife for them for that service to maintain.
Someone would like to move, please. Move councillor Head, secondly councillor Saxby. Are there any comment, Hayley? No?
What about fire trucks?
Oh, I just wanted to make sure that there was still maintained fire truck trails and fire hazard reductions happening.
Is that, do we have any ability to advocate for that, Gary?
I believe that we could, when we write back to the resolution on council,
Yeah.
so that we can include the condition on that advice saying they should still be maintained for
Okay.
Can we ask that to be changed in the endorsement, recommendation?
It's probably not necessary because that is their responsibility to maintain that underneath the relevant acts anyway. In their own forestry act, they should be doing that. So probably no need to change the resolution.
No, but we can encourage Gary to include that in his column that's going to be speaks with National Parks and Wildlife. Okay. Any further questions? If not, I'll put the recommendation. Moved by councillor Heath, second by councillor Saxby. That council resolved that the East-West Trail and the Eastern Boundary Trail located within the Murrumbidgee National Park be transferred to the New South Wales National Parks and Wildlife Service. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Okay. Item 5, please.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Mayor. Item 5 relates to the Western Riverina Stormwater and Wastewater Management Strategy. The council is part of a consortium of councils being funded by Ramsay, considered drought resilience strategies. As part under that strategy, the consortium have resolved to look at and develop plans for stormwater and wastewater management and reuse. A review of the situations in Jewellery, Collam, and Point has decided to look at the potential stormwater reuse to maintain the Jewellery Lake, which requires some engineering works to achieve. It's the most suitable project for our council area. The intent is that this will be planned, costed, and give then to council, to undertake, subject to grant funding or if council so resolve, to allocate the funding for it. So the purpose of this strategy is now to be, placed on public exhibition, and the resolution, is, seeking a resolution from council, to exhibit it for 28 days.
Hey, would somebody like to move, please? Move Councillor Major, seconded Councillor Churban. Are there any questions? Floyd, any questions?
No, just personal. I think it's good that we've got a tangible outcome out of this funding. It's not often you do out of these sort of drought resilient projects. As I think we all acknowledge that, you know, water is becoming more and more scarce. So if we can put it to good use, and certainly we all know in Murrumbidgee that the lake is of such significance to the town. So if we can keep that topped up with water and reuse, I think it's a really, really good outcome. So yeah.
Any further commentary? I just have a comment, Gary. Can you tell me why the project in Murrumbidgee and Lake Murrumbidgee was prioritised?
Through Madam Mayor, in response to that, it wasn't quite shovel ready, but it had been discussed, I understand, previously by council's potential project, and as just articulated by Councillor Major, it's probably the most appropriate project of the time, given that the disposal of stormwater in Polyamber and Darlington Point is totally consistent.
Right. The system in Murrumbidgee is pipe.
Yep.
Pipe movement, and in Collier and Darlington Point it is just open.
Darlington Point, it's piped, but it goes pretty much under the levee bank and into the river, so it's taken care of over a wider area.
Yeah.
This project at Murrumbidgee, it's piped a third or a fairly good proportion of the stormwater system will be piped to that point, so it can be captured quite easily.
Okay. Thank you very much. If there's no further questions, I'll put the recommendation, and the recommendation will read that Council A endorse the final draft Western Riverina Stormwater and Wastewater Management Strategy and place on public display for 28 days seeking community feedback, and B, consider community feedback prior to adoption of this strategy. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
against? Carried. Thank you. Item 6, please.
Item 6 is the order of the improvement committee meeting minutes for council's information.
Are there any, something like to move that the ARIC minutes of the committee meeting be noted? Moved Councillor Saxwick, seconded Councillor Churban. Are there any questions of John regarding these minutes? If not, I'll put that to the recommendation to have these minutes noted. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 7, please.
That was the Tidy Towns meeting for October. It's a rundown of working bees and projects that have been and upcoming. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer as best possible. I'd like to thank the staff for beginning the latest project, which is a new memorial garden and wall in the Memorial Park. They're cracking on with it, and it shouldn't be too long and we'll see major works happening.
And Councillor Ross, can you tell us how that project's been funded?
Tidy Towns is the major funding of material, and council staff are doing the work under council operations.
Okay. And it's a project in collaboration with the RSL?
In collaboration with the RSL, and they're very keen on having this done as a lasting tribute to any servicemen and women and organisations.
Would you like to move that the Tidy Towns report be noted?
Yes.
Moved Councillor Bryce, seconded Councillor Strawn. I'll put that to the councillors. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 8, please.
item 8 is the monthly investment report for September 2025 that council usually receives. Nothing out of the ordinary to note. Just had a quick look at the Bendigo bank investments, which are the ones that are still out of line with the policy, just due to the changes that were made and the time it takes to dial that back. But we've just about brought that back into line, so in the next couple of months that should be back in line.
Okay, thank you, Caitlin. Would somebody like to move, please? Move councillor Heath, second councillor Bryce. Are there any questions of Caitlin, please, regarding the monthly investment report? If not, the recommendation will read that council note the monthly investment reports identifying all money council has invested under section 625 of the Local Government Act 1993. The recommendation, those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. Item 9, please.
Thank you, through you, Madam Mayor. Item 9, list of the development applications approved under delegation by council staff during September 2025, and it's recommendation that the report be noted.
I have a question there before anybody moves it forward. The 11573 Sturt Highway is not in Murrumbidgee Council's area. Is that a typo or something else? It is very close to Narrandera.
That development application 35 to 2025.
Yes.
There's a shed actually might be on land in Murrumbidgee Council, but the address of the property.
Thank you.
Okay. Somebody like to move this report, please. Move councillor Churban, secondly councillor Bryce. The recommendation will read that the information contained in the development applications approved under delegation at September 2025 report be noted. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. Would somebody like to move that we move into confidential, please? Move councillor Saxon, secondly councillor Heath. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against?
Aye.
Carried. Thank you. Okay, move to item 10, please. The purchase of land in Darlington Point. And the recommendation will read that council authorise the general manager to submit an expression of interest for the purchase of land, subject to this report being guided by the valuation and direction of council. Further, should the purchase be successful, the land be classified as operational. Moved. Was it Councillor Saxby, seconded Councillor Heath?
Yes.
The people that
Yes.
Okay. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you. We'll move to item 11, please. The Collyambley Preschool and Early Learning Centre. And the recommendation will read that council authorise the general manager to take actions necessary to facilitate the continued provision of early learning services in Collyambley. Would somebody like move Councillor Black, seconded Councillor Churgwin? Put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Thank you. And item 12 is the purchase of 2 roadside slashes. And the recommendation will read that council endorse the purchase of 2 Schultz GX-130 13 foot general duty rotary cutter splashes at a total cost of $94,350, excluding GST. And it was moved by Councillor Heath, seconded by Councillor Saxby. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried. Thank you.
Gary.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Kim.
Tim, I'll
Thank
drop
you.
this off for you, Tim.
See you.
Thank you.